past 2 weeks?
Great, busy, but great. Putting together a coaching staff, as you guys saw this morning, took a lot of time. A lot of phone calls, a lot of conversations. Talking to David, front office people, a lot of people that with a lot of recommendations. It was a hard process, you want to call it, but excited with the group of guys that we got on board.
How well, if at all, did you know John Gibbons before this, and what does he bring?
Yeah, I met Gibby back in 2018 when he was still managing the Blue Jays, and with me with the Yankees, obviously, but pretty casual, But then when we started the process, we started talking to a lot of people, and he was one of the candidates, one of the finalists, and we connected right away. He's a guy that his ability to connect with people, to relate, great personality, managed for a long time, and he's been with a lot of different teams, if you want to call it, superstars, young guys, and he's got that ability to connect, people from different backgrounds, not only players but coaches and front office people, and this was the case here, and we're pretty excited to have him, and the experience, the knowledge of the game. We feel like he's not only going to complement myself, but the coaching staff, players, front office people, and we're excited to have him.
What did you like about the Severino signing, and how confident are you that he can be a factor for you guys after?
Yeah, look, I go way back with Sevy. I remember when he was signed with the Yankees back in 2011, and I watched him grow, throughout the minor league system and develop and become a big league pitcher. I remember watching his first outing in the big leagues. I was in the Dominican Republic complex at the time, and it was a party when he was pitching, right? Then he became an all-star twice, and then he's been through a lot the past couple of years with injuries, as everybody knows. But talent, we saw it towards the end of the year. Fastball, live. Obviously, the goal is to keep him healthy, right? And this is something that we need to work on with him, and his people, and our people here. But excited to have Sevy on board.
What is he doing, I guess, the last few months or the next few months leading into spring training to get healthy and stay healthy? Is he doing anything different than he's done in years past?
Yeah, look, we just, got him not too long ago, and I was able to talk to him and kind of get a feel for where he was at physically, mentally, and it seems like he's in a good spot right now, working with his trainers back home. He's planning on visiting some facilities, and we finally were able to put our hands, our people from our medical department were able to just go through his medicals and all that, and it's encouraging. It's something that he knows he's maybe more athletic, some of those things physically that he feels like he needs to work on. And as we move forward here, we'll have those conversations with him as well, and our pitching coach and our training department.
Having watched him up close this past year, in hindsight, any ideas on what went wrong for him?
It's kind of hard to tell, because he missed a lot of the time early on with injuries, and then it was a struggle for him, and. Look, he went through a lot, but the one thing that Sevy's got is he wants to take the ball. Whenever he can, he wants to take the ball. He's a competitor. We've seen it in the past, in the biggest stage, right, in New York, when biggest moment, he wants to be there, he wants to compete, and that's what we are all excited about him.
Have you spoken with Starling Marte and Jeff McNeil, and do you know what their status is with their health right now?
Yeah, I spoke to both of them. I've been in touch with them. They seem to be doing pretty good. McNeil's been up, back and forth going to New York and getting checked up, but seems like he's going to be able to go through his normal off-season. My conversations with him were not concerned. Same way with Starling. He's going through his normal routine in the Dominican. Planning on probably making a visit over there to the Dominican and meet some of our people in the Dominican complex. And Mauricio's playing in Winter Ball. We'll, planning on meeting with Marte as well. But as so far it's been great.
How do you view Mauricio defensively going forward? I know he's going to play a lot of third in the Dominican.
Special talent, he's got some great tools, and his ability to play around the infield is a plus, right? He can play short, he can play third, he can play second. We're still a few weeks away, before we have to make a decision. But I like the versatility, the tools, is an exciting player.
Do you have to make a decision at all, or can you go in more open-minded about him defensively?
Well, I mean, we're always open-minded, right? So we'll see where we're at when we get to spring training, and I'm just excited to have him and get to know him and watch him play and perform.
Sorry, how do you see third base in general shaking out? You obviously have three young players who were rookies last year at that position, but how do you see sort of that position looking up?
Yeah, I mean, look, the talent's there, right? We got Brett, who's another really good-looking player. I spoke with him the other day. He's excited. We got Mauricio. I mean, we added Wendell. So there's depth there, obviously, right? But like I said, we're a few weeks away till we have to report and then make that final decision towards the end of spring training. Hopefully, we're in a position where we're going to have to make some difficult decisions because they're going to make it hard for us. But again, we're pretty excited with what we have.
Are you guys looking at Wendell mostly at third base, or is he another one of those who can play?
Everywhere, I watched Wendell play when he was with the Rays a lot, and this is a guy that's got the ability to play multiple positions. He's a plus defender, not only at third base, but he can play second, he can play shortstop, and, his presence in the clubhouse as well. This is a guy that wants to win. He's a competitor. He's a great teammate, and everything that we're hearing from people that being with him is been great. And we, again, another guy that we're excited to have on our team.
How many more starters do you think this rotation needs to be considered more complete, more competitive?
That's a good question. You can never have enough pitching, right? And, I know David's pretty busy. We added Sevi, obviously Quintana, Senga, and McGill, and, a lot of the guys. We got, but we're going to need arms, To get through 162 plus, you're going to need the depth. And, we'll see where he ends up.
You guys used a six-man rotation a bunch last year. Have you guys talked about how you want to use whether five-man or six-man?
We haven't had that discussion. I'm pretty sure we'll get there at some point. But yeah, it's nothing new here. Not only for the Mets, but for baseball in general. Whether it's better to go six-man. It depends where you are on the schedule. If it's not something that you want to do throughout the whole year, is that something that you want to take advantage of off days? And it depends who's on your rotation, bullpen. There's a lot that goes into these decisions. But yeah, it's baseball nowadays, right? So open to anything.
Given that you have a lot more infielders than outfielders now, are you looking at McNeil more as a corner outfielder, or is he still kind of a second baseman?
Yeah, not necessarily. Look, again, this is another guy that provides a lot of versatility, right? He can play second base, he can play corner outfield, and he's a plus defender anywhere you put him. And again, he wants to win. He wants to contribute. And it's early to tell, but it's a guy that won a batting champ last year, right? And excited to get to work with him and having a bounce back here.
Through several weeks on the job, what has surprised you most?
I don't know if I would say surprise. I'm just excited to get to know quality people. I feel like every day I keep meeting people, and personalities. And so I don't know that I would say anything that surprised me so far, but just conversations with players, front office people, staff, putting together the coaching staff, it's been exciting. So.
What kind of reports are you getting on Edwin Diaz, and what kind of conversations have you had with him?
He can't wait to get going. I spoke with him a couple of weeks ago, and fully healthy. He's going through his off-season routines and preparation, and he's excited. There's another guy that has been going back and forth home in Puerto Rico, in New York, getting checked out. And yeah, I mean, he's one of those where we can't wait to have him on spring training and get him going.
Do you anticipate it being just normal spring training for him?
Yeah, I think we'll use it, talking to the pitching coaches and our medical department, and even with Edwin, just to make sure we put a program in place here. Maybe, we use that as a rehab assignment, if you want to call it, but it's something that we have to take our time and make sure that he's, bouncing back. But the line of communication between us and the player, in this case, Edwin, is going to be important. So.
What makes you think that Jeff will have a bounce back year at the plate?
Who's this?
Jeff McNeil.
Well, he's hit pretty much everywhere he's played, right? Coming up through the system in the minor leagues, at the big league level, I have no doubt that this guy is gonna, you don't win batting titles by accident, and this guy is a gifted hitter. This is a guy that sprayed the ball all over the field. I remember, having to position our infielders against him, it was difficult because he's a guy that will go the other way. He can pull it. Like he's got that ability to manipulate the bat and put the bat on the ball. So I have no doubt that Jeff is going to be the player he's, and the hitter he's capable of.
What has the evaluation been like, just looking at this roster as a whole, and what we kind of relied upon to kind of get to know the ins and outs of what the roster has been like so far?
Yeah, I mean, look, excited with the talent that we currently have on our team, especially from the position player side. We got, Senga, who just finished second on the Rookie of the Year, right? Quintana. We got work to do on the pitching side. It's not a secret, and David's been, pretty vocal about it. But excited with the talent that we currently have, especially some of the younger players that we have on our roster too. So excited.
Do you think your DH is on your roster right now, or is it probably somebody you're still going to get this winter?
That's a good one. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of too early to tell, right? We're a few weeks away, month away from opening date, so we'll see how the winter unfolds.
Would you like your DH to be like a set guy each day, or would you like to use that spot to rotate?
I mean, this is some of the conversations that me and David are having day in and day out. It's one of those where would you want to keep it flexible for some of the other guys and use it as an off day, even though they're going to be in the lineup? Yeah, but who knows? The right player shows up and you get an opportunity to add somebody that's going to make our team better, then, I'm open to anything. And those are some of the conversations that we're having.
When it comes to Mark Vientos, would you be comfortable using him, a guy that young, as the DH, or do you need him to be playing the field every day?
And, you just said it, he's a young guy, right? And part of the development is playing on the field too. So it depends where we at, once we break camp, going through spring training and all that. But I'm excited to get to work with him, watch him play on the field, and continue to watch him growth and develop on the field, not only as a hitter, but as a defender as well.
What makes you excited to watch him?
Tools, everything. He's like I say, he's a young guy that's put himself in a position to compete and earn playing time. So I'm excited for that.
Carlos, one on your former team. What kind of a hitting coach are the Yankees getting with James Robinson? You go way back with him in the organization.
Quality person. I go back with James, our years in the minor leagues with the Yankees when he was a coordinator and I was a coordinator as well. His ability to connect with people, to relate with people, and a lot of different personalities, not only players, coaches, front office, and be able have that ability to blend the information with what the players feeling. They got a good one on James Rousing.
I'm just comfortable going into spring training having open competition for certain spots, like starting spots on the roster.
If I'm open to it, yeah. I mean, competition is always great, right? And we're not going to shy away from competition. And I think myself, David, we've been pretty vocal about it. And I think competition is always a good thing, and it's healthy. And I think it's only going to make all of us better. So.
What's the best part of the winter meetings for you?
Getting to see a lot of familiar faces, like people that I haven't seen in years, and then some of the people that I was just with, not too long ago. It's been great.
Is this your first time at a winter meeting?
It's my second time. First time I came over was when I first got the job to join Aaron Boone's staff with the Yankees back in 2017. So.
What is your overall outlook on diversity at the coaching level and the managing level league-wide?
It's great, I think it's 6 of us Latinos now getting the opportunity to manage at the big league level, which is great. This is a great opportunity for us to represent our, the Latin community and just through this platform with Major League Baseball, and open up that door for future coaches that are in the minor leagues. And diversity is always a good thing. And I'm humble. I'm proud to represent not only Venezuela but the Latin community, and very thankful for the Mets for giving me this great opportunity.
Francisco Alvarez.
Have any of the managers reached out to you to give you advice, like David Martinez or Laura or Pedro before?
All of them. When I first got the job, I can tell you how many texts and phone calls I got from pretty much every manager in the league. And I was was pretty humbled by. I even got an opportunity to talk to Tito Francona, after I got the job, which was for me was pretty humbling. And some of the guys that like Kevin Cash, between the lines, it gets intense. But the fact that people like them were reaching out to me was pretty humbling and something that I was very proud of.
What things stick out? What advice sticks out?
No, I think the biggest thing was just keep being you. You've gotten to this point for a reason. Just keep being yourself. Just keep being you, and you're gonna be fine. That's pretty much the consistent messaging that I got from a lot of the managers.
Francisco Alvarez said he's heard from a lot of friends and family in Venezuela that it's very exciting that there is a Venezuelan manager. What's that been like for you to see excitement back home?
Yeah, it's been great. It got kind of crazy, to be honest with you, from Venezuela, people in Venezuela, but not only family member, but just the whole country. It was big news. Because second manager, full-time manager after Ozzie Guillen means a lot. Means a lot, but it's something that pretty humble, proud, and something that I don't take lightly. And I'm very proud to represent, like I said, our country and the Latin community. But yeah, I think there's a lot of Mets fans now back in Venezuela.
What do you make of the split between Alvarez and Narvaez? Narvaez wants to play, but Alvarez has obviously shown what he can do at the plate. How do you view the competition between the two and splitting time between them?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, competition is great, right? And Francisco, showed what he can do on the field, but Omar Narvaez is a pretty good player too. I had an opportunity to be with him during the WBC. I spoke with him, the past couple of weeks, and I'm excited to have those, not only those two, but we added some catching depth not too long ago, and they're all great players, and competition is always fun, and I will have those conversations with them one-on-one and making sure that everybody's on the same page.